For many years now, PaperMC has been carrying the Minecraft server community. PaperMC is a fork of Spigot, who on its turn is a fork of Bukkit, and it is a very cool server software, which tries to balance a vanilla experience and optimization. You're not getting a true vanilla experience, but your server will run a lot better than a vanilla server ever could. And you gain the ability to install Minecraft plugins, which is also really cool. And ever since Paper released, there have been other members in the community who have tried to fork Paper and make it even better. So-called high-performance forks. You might remember I made a video about LeafMC a while back, which many members of the community have been very positive about. But I also made a follow-up video talking about the true reality of high-performance forks, which is that there is definitely a balance between performance and having a good experience, and Paper seems to have figured out that balance perfectly. Others that try to fork Paper and optimize it even more usually end up creating a server software which might look fine for the first few hours, but after that it all slowly starts to break down. Sometimes crashing servers and corrupting worlds to a degree so bad you will actually lose all of your progress. Optimization can also go too far. But today we're gonna have a look at something which is not that. This is not a high performance fork. This is an all new Minecraft server software that is making some bold claims. It is called PumpkinMC, and if we should believe them, it is one of the best server softwares that has ever been created. It has immensely fast startup times, it has optimized CPU utilization, it has superior memory optimization, built-in multi-threading support, which is what PaperMC made Folia for. According to Pumpkin themselves, they've got this figured out. There's also built-in cross-edition compatibility, so no need to install Geyser or anything like that. According to them, it's built into the server. And even if you want to install Geyser, you couldn't, because this is actually a completely new server software. It doesn't even support Bukkit or Paper plugins. Pumpkin uses its own API, the Pumpkin API. So you would have to make dedicated Pumpkin plugins to work on this server. And while not having the ability to install Bukkit and Paper plugins may already be a letdown for some, wait before you judge. Because they claim their server will boot in 50 milliseconds, while a regular Paper server will take 10 seconds to boot up. They also claim that their server in idle only uses around 100 megabytes of RAM, instead of the roughly 1.4 gigabytes that Paper uses. And according to them, the CPU usage is also very much optimized. And it's nice that they claim this all, but I want to see before I believe. So let's have a look at PumpkinMC and let's see what it's all about. Do make sure to double check if you're subscribed to the channel. The vast majority of my daily viewers are not, and I would appreciate it a lot if you did. So one of the most important takeaways of the Pumpkin Minecraft server software is that it is not just another Paper or Spigot or Bukkit fork. PumpkinMC is its own completely standalone thing, but until a few months ago you were only able to install Pumpkin inside of a Docker environment. So it has been out for a while, kind of in a beta state, but you could only install it in Docker and then preferably on dedicated hardware. So a full VPS utilized for this single server. But a few months ago, they released simple downloads for user operating systems like Windows, Linux, and Mac OS, which means that we're now able to locally run it on our own system. So to run a PumpkinMC server, you don't have to install Java whatsoever, which is mandatory with Paper. You can simply click on the download link for your operating system. Doing this will give you an exe file. You can now simply go ahead and create a folder, and I'm gonna call it a Pumpkin server, just like that. And after that, all you need to do is simply double click this file. Make sure to not blink, because it is instantly up. There we go. That's it. It's up. Okay. Let me show you that once more. I'm gonna stop the server. There we go. I'm gonna double click. There it is. It is now up already. It is literally that quick. Now you can also see we only have a few folders here. There's a config folder with some stuff that we can customize. Then there is a logs folder where we can simply find all the logs. There's a plugins folder, which is where you want to put all of your PumpkinMC plugins. And then there is the world folder, which simply stores your regular Minecraft world, the Nether, and the end. I can in Minecraft add a server, type in a local host, press on done, and there we go. A blazingly fast Pumpkin server. Would you look at that? So we can now just simply click on join, and there we go. We're in. We're on the server. Now, some things are very strange already. So first up, what is going on with my skin? The entire second layer of my skin is simply gone. I want to show you that in fact, I did not disable that second layer. It is just simply not there. Something which is also not there is my cape. I don't have a cape whatsoever. So that is definitely interesting. I feel so weird. I look so weird. Let's see if rejoining fixes this. I doubt it will. Yeah, it absolutely does not fix it. That's fine. You know what? Let me quickly OP myself. OP Kasasura. There we go. I can now set myself to creative. All right. Would you look at that? So first up, what version is this server even in? Okay, we're running Pumpkin 0.1.0. And that is something I do want to point out. This is still a very early version of the server software. It's a developer version. It is so early on still that you're gonna stumble upon some bugs, most definitely. On their GitHub, you can see which features are actually in the server already. So there's a bunch of stuff which has been added, though things like, for example, item drops is still work in progress. As well as non-living entities, mobs, animals, and the entire entity AI. These are things that they're still working on, so they're not gonna work very well. Let's see, what do we have going on here? We're running on a server and everything seems to load in very quickly. Oh no, some things are falling apart there. This random portion of the world is simply not loading. This somehow gives me flashbacks of that video of the Utopia server, where the world is also literally falling apart. And that makes me scared. Very, very scared. At the same time, this software seems to work in a completely different way, which is why I thought it was very interesting to have a look at it. I'm wondering, would a server restart fix this? I doubt it, but let's have a look. So let's start the server again. Still crazy how fast it boots. There we go. It's up already. That's actually insane. And let's join and let's... Okay. The unloaded chunks have now loaded. They've loaded in a weird way though. Would you look at that? So it really just cut off the chunk and then it almost looks like it is just like generating a different seed from this point forward. Oh no, Mr. Chicken, are you good? How are you doing over there? Oh, we're all here. It's the whole gang. Hello, gang. What's up? Hello, creeper. Hello, zombie. Okay, let's see what happens when I spawn in a mob. What if I spawn a wolf? You're just a mannequin. And here we got more chunks that are simply not loading. Oh, huh? I'm currently in Minecraft Overworld. Ah, yes, Overworld. My favorite biome. The fact that it says Overworld there, no matter which biome we're in, that shows how different it is. I gotta be honest, when I'm here with my skin not loading, and when I see those mobs fly in the sky as mannequins, it almost feels like I'm in a limbo server. I actually made a video about limbo servers a while back. It is basically what Hypixel uses as their AFK server, because it takes up very little resources. Somehow this kind of feels like a limbo server, but then with a bit more functionality. Wait, can we even play survival? That is something which we've not checked out. Okay, blocks do drop. All right then. Crafting table, bam. I can totally make a sword for myself. Nice. I mean, this is a mannequin. I cannot kill him. Let's go to config, and after that we're just gonna dive into configuration.toml. Alright, there we go. Java edition is true. Here we can specify the address. Then Bedrock edition true. That is definitely something which we have to try out in a bit. Does Bedrock edition support actually work? Then we got the seed, and the seed is set to 0, which is an interesting seed. Does this mean it will grab a random seed every single time we restart the server? Or is the seed actually gonna be 0 all the time? /seed. Okay, it is 0. Apparently this is what seed 0 looks like, I guess. Then we got max players, view distance, simulation distance, default difficulty, OP level, all of that basic stuff. Nothing too strange here. It is basically your server.properties file, but then for the Pumpkin server, and some settings are simply different. I'm wondering, what if we put in an actual random seed here? Would that fix our chunk issues? Potentially, maybe. Simply gonna clear the world. There we go. Continue. And okay. Ooh, we killed him. Okay, so it is not just a mannequin. It does drop rotten flesh. What if we kill at E? Does everyone die? Oh, yes. Everyone did die. 122 entities were killed. So they are real, and they even drop stuff if you kill them, but they can't actually move. I would be so curious to see what this server software would be like in, let's say, 6 months. Maybe it will have been improved so much by then that all of the issues that we currently stumble upon are non-issues by that time. Oh, it does load quickly. Like the chunks it does load it very, very quickly. I feel like this whole server software right now is more of a proof of concept. Like they're showing us roughly what they can do, like how quickly they can generate the world, how quickly they can make a server boot. But right now it is definitely not a server software which you should just opt for to play with your friends. But maybe in 6 months or a year it is gonna be, who knows? Alright, now let's also have a look at if this server also works for Minecraft Bedrock Edition, because according to them, there is built-in Bedrock Edition support. No need to install PaperMC or anything like that, it should just work straight out of the box. So let's click on play and... oh, it is there already. My Bedrock Edition recognizes it as a LAN world. I initially just wanted to, like, enter a server, but it seems like we don't even have to do that. Let's go ahead and join. And okay, my Bedrock Edition crashed. It seems like I joined for a second, but let's try that once more. Let's click on play. It does recognize it. Oh, disconnected from host. Let's just try once more. No? Really? You're not gonna let me in? And what if I do go to servers and I add a server and then I just do a local host? Your client is having trouble establishing a connection to multiplayer services. Well, am I able to join the server like the Hive? Yep, I'm able to get in with absolutely no issue whatsoever. So we've now officially established that my internet works perfectly fine. Gonna try to join my Pumpkin server again. Play. It is not giving in. Okay, I'll try LAN once. Wait, LAN is gone? What? Is it not a LAN server anymore? I've joined a few times. Okay, let's reboot the server. One more try. Otherwise, it's just not gonna work. There we go. It's up again. Let's see. It is no longer being recognized as a LAN server, but it's also not letting me connect through the external server section. So even though my Bedrock Edition does recognize it as a Bedrock Edition server, meaning it shows up in the LAN section, it's not actually letting me in. Now, on their website, you can also find some benchmarks, but according to them, the benchmarks are very unfair, as PumpkinMC currently just has far fewer features than other server softwares do. But you can see some specifications about how fast the game will boot, how much RAM it will roughly use, what the file size is, stuff like that. It is interesting, but again, not very fair in any way. Something which PumpkinMC does support is a velocity and bungee cord, so that's pretty cool. The Pumpkin plugin API is currently also still in a very early stage of development, but at least they do have some documentation on how to actually create a project and some of the basic logic. And here we got a join event, so there is some interesting stuff, but it's still very early. So PumpkinMC, is it any good? Well, it's way too early to tell. Right now, the PumpkinMC servers still miss basic functionality, like the world generating without issues and mobs actually being able to walk around. This more feels like a proof of concept. The server boots insanely fast, which is really cool. The chunks that do generate also generate really fast. And while it doesn't support Bucket or Paper plugins, if this server software eventually becomes stable and players start using it, there may be a future where we get our own PumpkinMC marketplace with PumpkinMC plugins that you can use on a PumpkinMC server. In conclusion, as a proof of concept, I think PumpkinMC is really cool, but it's also clear there's still a lot that has to be done. I would definitely suggest checking it out for yourself and maybe experimenting with it a little bit. You can also join the developers Discord server, as this project is fully open source. Maybe there's a way for you to contribute to the project itself. I'm excited to see how this project is going to progress and what it's going to be about in, let's say, 6 months. But for now, that's going to be it for today. Do make sure to subscribe to the channel, join my Discord. Thank you so much, channel members. And then I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye. See you later. Bye bye.